Okay, we are back for part three of how the United States government is supposed to work or working. This one's going to be pretty quick. I just wanted to kind of get some vocabulary in on the definition of the word freedom, or more commonly um, referred to as liberty in the older writings. I mean, these both words kind of interchangeable. Um, it's a really important word. It gets used a lot, but when you start talking to people, you find out that people have slightly different ideas about what it's supposed to mean, what it means. Um, but we need to get that straightened out because all of our military servicemen who have fought to preserve freedom, the families of the military servicemen who support them. Um, every politician wants to get up and tell you that he supports it, and on and on. But without a good understanding of the word, it's just a soundbite. So I think the best phrase to look at is liberty and justice for all. Liberty was very important to the colonial Americans. They had just thrown off their oppressive government and won their liberty. So liberty was a big thing for them. They did not want a new government to come in and just replace the old one. Um, but the reason I think the justice for all is an important add-on for that is the understanding that the liberty that you're looking for applies to everyone. That's an important, thing to get through, is that it really, liberty is for everyone here. And justice, for the most part, just means that everyone is treated fairly. So when we talk about liberty, liberty is the freedom to do what you want. I mean, really, if you look at like your military servicemen when they're on the clock or on base, they're answering to their commanding officer and doing their job and whatever. And when they get liberty, that's their time away. That's their time that they can, maybe go off base or do whatever. It's the freedom away from the stuff people told you have to do. And then that's liberty. It's your, not being told what to do by other people. Now, your problem is, liberty for all becomes a problem when two people can't agree on what they want, or when what they want overlaps. Okay. And that's where you need a mediator. That's where you need your government to step in and say, okay, both of you deserve some liberty, but if you can't get along, we're going to have to draw a line as to what your limitations are, But both of you need to be treated fairly. Both of you need to have as much liberty as possible without conflict. Right. And that's pretty much the whole of the video. I mean, it's, I think most people are intelligent enough to grasp what I'm trying to say here, but you need to go back and kind of think, because that's not how some people think when they're in an argument with someone else. When they're disagreeing, most people are like, well, we'd get along fine if he'd see things my way. Or, there wouldn't be a problem if they just do what I think they should do. That's not liberty for everybody. That's oppression. That's me making the decision and telling somebody else what they have to do with their life. And that's bad. Okay, but it's very natural for people to think that way. It's easy to think that way. Because whenever you're in an argument with someone, you have you're only arguing because you believe you're right. And the other person is only arguing back because they believe they're right. All right. Nobody argues when they know they're wrong unless they're just a jerk. So, for the most part, you think you're right. And because you think you're right, you think you're somehow helping the other person to tell them, what is right and that they should do that. That's, it's just natural for people to do that. So you have to kind of be careful. You have to come back and check yourself. So what I want you to do is, think about this idea of liberty. Think about the fact that, you've got to be fair to everybody, and that everybody should be allowed to do as much as they want within reason of not being able to interfere with other people living their life and doing what they want. Check yourself. Go look at some of your ideas about, how things should go in the world. Like, are you really being fair to the other person? Even if people have to have the freedom to make a mistake. Just because the other person isn't doing it, you think your way is better, doesn't mean the other person shouldn't be allowed to do it their way anyway. You're look at your politicians, look at your day-to-day arguments that you see in the media, whatever the big issues are, and look at what people are trying to present as their solutions, and see how many of them actually sound like they're fair for all parties, or if it's just one side thinks they're right and wants to tell the other side what to do, because that's not what liberty and justice for all looks like. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to drag this on. I would normally ramble on. The next video, we're going to continue with this because there is a problem with people who think that telling somebody else what to do is the same thing. And that is something that was addressed specifically by the founders of our country, the people who wrote the Constitution. So we will talk about that in the next video. And I'll see you there.